Call the meeting to order. First off, Councillor Collins Power is absent from tonight's meeting. Councillor Collins Power is away on vacation. We hope she enjoys her vacation. Next, I'd like to get the adoption of the agenda dated October 15, 2019. As per motion, moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, second. Councillor Smith. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried. As per motion, adoption of the minutes dated September 16, 2019. Moved by Councillor Collins, seconded by Deputy Mayor. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried. Has anybody got any business arising from the minutes of September 16, 2019? Move on to the action sheet. On the action sheet of the items which council now, excuse me, all the committee stuff, the action stuff for the committee stuff would be nice to have on an action sheet. And again, if it's completed, the date that it's completed, and then we should have, once it's completed, you know, after a 1 week or something after a following council meeting, then it should actually be removed from the list, so it's not going to be keep it forward. Is everybody in agreement with this?
Yeah.
Okay. So once it goes past meeting that is completed, the following meeting will be deleted from the list, and actually a column with an update when it was completed. Anybody have any questions on the action sheet?
I'll start one minute.
Councillor Fitzpatrick.
Just around the air conditioning system, what's the status on that? Because it seems like that's been on the agenda now for a number of meetings.
That was several. I think the public works superintendent was actually getting some different quotations of pricing.
Okay.
There was some repair, I think, just to put some repairs to one of the units in this building,
Yeah.
and the cost of the repairs is almost the cost of a unit.
Okay.
Any other questions? Hearing none, we'll move on to the committee reports. The executive committee. The executive committee met on October 11, 2019. In attendance was myself as the chair, Deputy Mayor Keith Pearson, Councillor Keith K. Smith, Mary Green, Acting CEO, Rhonda Power, Manager of Tourism, as a recorder. The Executive Committee made several recommendations. One, be it resolved, the Council approved the Dunbar Water Connection Phase 1 change order in the amount of $144,303.87 to project number 2018-020-2 to adjust the contract total to include changes in units installed as well as engineering back charges as per section 2 of the agreement. As per motion, moved by Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried. Next, be resolved, the Council approved the purchase of a legal survey to finalise a transfer of title to the Boydport building and land to the town of Placentia pursuant to clause 24 of the operative purchase of the building lease agreement. As per motion, moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, seconded by Councillor Smith. For your information, this is the south building that was purchased from the AMA. It was a lease to purchase agreement dated over 5 years, I believe, back, and the lease payments is up and the purchase price is completed. Following the completion of the lease to own agreement, we have a responsibility. We have to ensure to get a survey to get the legal transfer taken care of. So this is to get the legal survey done for the transfer to be taken care of.
Can we give an explanation also entered into the minutes for future reference if needed?
For future reference?
Yes, the way it's worded, like you wouldn't be able to get out to a couple of years down the road if we needed to know what it was for.
Yes.
And we just make sure that it's...
Yes, I would think that, the preamble that I just spoke, advising with the motion, would be included in the minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favour? Motion carried. There's another motion, be it resolved, the council approve the motion to apply for multi-year capital works funding for the following. $707,560 for the Plymouth retrofit and upgrades. $552,300 for the SCADA and flow meters. $735,142 for freshwater sewer installs. Moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, second. Deputy Mayor, any questions? All in favor? Motion carried. That was the only recommendations that the executive committee had. If anyone got any other questions? We'll move on to the finance committee. Meeting. Councillor Smith.
The Finance Committee met on October 10th. In attendance were committee as chair, Councillor Jane Hines and Deputy Mayor Keith Pearson, Mary Green as manager of finance, and Catherine Smith as recorder. Finance Committee made the following recommendations: that Council approve the accounts payable transaction journal dated October 7th, 2019, in the amount of $39,203.88.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
That Council approve the check register for the operating account in the amount of $398,685.70 for checks numbered 027969 to 028058.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
That Council approve the special accounts check register for the month of October 2019.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
That Council approve the visa statement expenditure for the period of August 28th to September 27th, 2019, totaling $89.85.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Collins. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
That Council approve payment of invoice number 106965 from Jet Ice Limited in the amount of $1,234.86.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
That Council approve payment of invoice number 16282 to 16289 from Powers Placentia SO in the amount of $1,459.83 for vehicle repairs and commercial inspection.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions?
Was this commercial inspection for all vehicles or just
Commercial inspections for one
one
vehicle?
vehicle?
Which vehicle would that be, Councillor? Three?
Be one of the vehicles for sale trucks. So, one of
Any other questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
That Council approve payment of invoice number 32042 from Everbridge in the amount of $6,480 for the annual renewal of Placentia Aware notification system from Community Engagement as budgeted.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
That Council approve a $100 donation to the Trinity Placentia Health Foundation as per past practice.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Collins. All in favor? Motion carried.
Mr. Report.
Thank you, Councillor Smith. Any other questions for the Finance Committee?
On the old computers, I know it's some are dated. What's the time for the old ones?
The old computers?
Yeah, we're talking about selling them.
Normally, if you're going to do anything with the computer, the hard drives would have to be
Yeah.
wiped clean and, or possibly removed, destroyed. So then if it's anything left here, I guess, salvageable assets. I understand that Public Works is actually compiling a list of stuff that we have now out there for disposal. I believe we have, several pieces of equipment, machinery, trucks, or whatever the case may be. So if there's anything there, obviously we'll have to dispose of it according to our policy. Then correct, Ms. Green?
Yes, and that's what we were gonna stay with the Public Works list of things to do a big list of items.
Do a list. Normally, council compiles a list and we have a sort of an action type thing and we compile from there. Okay. Any other questions? Move on to the Public Works Committee report. Public Works, Councillor Collins Power is not here. I believe Councillor Hines or Councillor Collins. Councillor Collins is going to do the report.
Right, their committee met on October the 8th. In attendance was Councillor Collins Power as chair, myself, Deputy Mayor Pearson, and also was Public Works Superintendent Adam Green, Kathy Duke recording, and our other staff member, Debbie, was absent due to illness. Recommendations: capital works application consists of the top 3 priorities: SCADA, flow meter, freshwater sewer outfalls and regatta grounds lift station. Number 2 was the animal control regulations be reviewed. That's the recommendations. And we also, I'll go over the following recommendations. Council approved the application for Francine Bernier Dominion Signs to construct a sign at 61 Blockhouse Road.
Moved by Councillor Collins, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Council approved the application for Jordan Tompkins to construct a residential extension at 11 Frecker Place.
Moved by Councillor Collins, second. Councillor Smith. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Council approved the application for Michael Barnett to construct a patio at 195 Ferndale Road.
Moved by Councillor Collins, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Council approved the application for Thomas H. Leonard to construct a fence at 10 Brook Road.
Moved by Councillor Collins, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Council approved the application for Thomas H. Leonard to construct a shed at 10 Brook Road.
Moved by Councillor Collins, second. Deputy Mayor. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Council approved the application for Dorothy Young to construct a shed at 5 Osborne Street.
Moved by Councillor Collins, second. Deputy Mayor. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Council approved the application for Charlie Pittman to construct a shed at 11A Cardigan Street.
Moved by Councillor Collins, second. Deputy Mayor. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Council approved the application for Ronald Klein to construct a shed at 26 Brook Road.
Moved by Councillor Collins, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Council approved the application for RJG Construction as a remediation permit to construct an erosion control at Argentia.
Moved by Councillor Collins, second. Councillor Smith. Any questions?
What is an erosion control?
Erosion control is like armor stone you put in Argentia. It's larger rock that you're actually placing in Argentia. This is the second contract RJG has had. The last one was by the Coast Guard, and this is another contract. And I believe the permit process is in place and the fees will be charged accordingly. Any other question? All in favor? Motion carried.
And the next one, the Public Works Superintendent declared conflict. Is he related to the applicant?
Go ahead, Councillor Collins.
Council approved the application for Patterson's Crane Rentals to acquire occupancy at 18 Marquee Avenue, pending government service approvals.
Moved by Councillor Collins, second. Councillor Hines. What is the occupancy? Is it a crane rental or west
It's
business?
where he's going to store his crane down there.
So the business is the cranes.
Mhm.
Call the question. All in favour? Motion carried. Ask Mr. Green to return.
Council approved the application for Masonic Lodge to acquire vendor permit to sell tickets in Placentia Mall at 61 Blackhurst Road.
Moved by Councillor Collins, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
Council approved in principle the application for G&M Family Farm at 28 Old Settlement Hill, pending an updated survey is provided, which includes the proper right of way to the residents and the business to be separated.
Moved by Councillor Collins, second. Deputy Mayor. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried. Any other questions for the Public Works Committee?
The only thing I want to note there is that I was not present for that committee meeting.
Okay.
Emergency.
Okay. Yes, so do note that the Deputy Mayor was absent from the meeting. The Dumble Ball order, is that ongoing and it's almost,
It's off.
it's off? Okay. I'm just seeing one more test. I'm wondering if it was back on.
Also, Mr. Mayor, on the action sheet also was the speeds near Ferndale and Dungle intersection. There's a bit of a problem there. So we've got that, we're looking into that. And we still got to set up a date for a month disaster.
Okay. No other questions. Move on to the next report. Culture, tourism and beautification.
Right, our committee met on October 7th in the boardroom. Attending was myself as chair, Councillor Kay Smith, Councillor Jamie Fitzpatrick, Rhonda Power, Manager of Tourism and Marketing Communication, and Catherine Smith was recording. Our committee, would I have to ask? I don't think that one, do
This first one is
Yes.
written on.
Okay. Councillor Hines, declare conflict. Matters.
Committee recommends that council designate the property at 2 Orkin Drive, the Three Sisters Building, a municipal heritage structure in the town of Placentia.
Moved by Councillor Collins, second. Moved by Councillor Collins, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Sorry, nobody, then I had everybody. Okay, any questions? Councillor Fitzpatrick.
When we were talking about this application, remember we were talking about, some of the things that they said they were gonna do in it, so the recommendation doesn't address that.
Okay, so then-
They identified some renovations that they were going to do in the application that they had put forward. So I don't know if we want to include that in the motion.
Well, it would be nice to do something there.
Yeah.
To include it as a municipal heritage structure.
Yeah.
That's to actually give the designation, is that what I
Yeah.
understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of heritage. And
But there were
then,
specific items that they had identified in their application that they were going to do some stuff with.
so the motion will include the specific items that was, to get the designation, and this is what you're actually going to do.
Okay.
So I guess we'll be added on in the application.
In the application.
Everybody understand? Information? Any other questions?
To bring that to our attention. That was the only recommendation for this committee.
Councillor Collins, we'll wait now.
Oh, sorry,
for the vote. Any other questions? All in favour? Motion carries. Thank you, Councillor Collins. I'll ask Councillor Hines to come back. Okay, Recreation Committee, Deputy Mayor.
Recreation Committee met on October the 1st. In attendance was myself, Councillor Collins Power, Councillor Hines, Mr. Pike, the Manager of Recreation, was the resource person, and Ms. Smith was the recorder. We already done the recommendation earlier for the ice, jet ice. A couple of things we went through, we reviewed the terms of reference, we are a new committee, and discussed the structure and the purpose of the Recreation Committee. The arena was minor delay in opening of the arena. There was some issues with the chiller. That was all checked out and everything came back fine, so there was about a week delay because of that. So the arena is actually starting tomorrow for bookings and openings. The fitness room hours were open from 8:30 to 4:30 now, but once tomorrow starts, it'll be included up until the time the arena closes and stuff. So there'll be new hours for tomorrow by the Manager of Recreation.
In the fitness room, we were gonna keep a log of the users, that are we doing a log of that?
Yes, there is still a log there.
See the utilization, yes.
Yes, there is, yeah.
Thank you.
The outside stairway access, that was discussed, and the fire chief is to review that. We asked that the full arena be reviewed before it was opening, so that was one of our action items, so hopefully that was done since then. I would probably follow up, or the CAO can follow up just to make sure that was completed. The number 6 dressing room was over, and that is also complete, so that'll help for tournaments and stuff this year. The canteen was awarded again. I think it was Grandma's Kitchen got the canteen for this year.
So is there a motion for that coming from somewhere?
I think it was after close, after the committee, so that was just my understanding. So it was closed after the committee work was done.
So was, obviously there's no motion, is it gonna be started with this, the committee have a motion to put forward for Grandma's Kitchen, or was it the only?
I know that it happened, it closed after the committee met. So I know why we're, so, I guess I wouldn't want to make a recommendation on that, just to be for
Well,
sure.
maybe we can make a motion, I guess, to the successful
Yes,
bidder, pending the review of the management.
yeah, we can do that.
You know, because obviously somebody shouldn't be going to go in there and operate if there was,
I have no idea if I need to declare conflict of interest or not.
are you aware of this subject, Ms. Green? Okay, I guess we'll put down the label.
We'll put on delay.
Certainly sure, you know, that stuff should be brought forward.
So Mayor, that
Councillor
means that
Fitzgerald.
nobody goes into the canteen, right?
Well, there's gonna have to be
Until
a review,
motion.
yes, the motion is, unless
And
you get a
then the arena
motion for
opening
approval,
tomorrow.
we have to get to see so, right?
So what I'll do is I'll actually get a motion and get that sent out
Okay.
first thing in the morning, so
Yes.
keep an eye for that, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Okay,
The curling club is planning a balance deal on October 19th. Figure skating is those splash pads are starting to do some groundwork on the splash pad site. The advisory committee is backing up and meeting again. The trunk or treat is scheduled for October 27th at 6:30 to 7:30 in Town Square. Talked about some social events for, using the Cadara committee, and actually, we talked about moving some of the events around, so sometimes people might not have the transportation to get to Placentia. So we're gonna reach out to groups and try to see can we find a place in Dunville, possibly, Freshwater, possibly, and in Placentia, hopefully spread around in case people cannot travel, so it still enables them to get out of their home and, participate in some of these events. A couple of other things we discussed, we were looking at, one of our focuses over the next couple of years is, we're discussing, trying to see can we find a location and see if there's funding out there possibly for an outdoor track in the area. That is a bit of a blue sky, but it's something that our committee is looking to do. And one other thing we did talk about a sports hall of fame for the area, and that's one of our focuses also for the next couple of years.
okay,
That
thank
was
you,
it.
Deputy Mayor. And there's a list of some action items. Anybody has any questions? Councillor Fitzpatrick.
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. I'm just wondering, maybe the Recreation Committee could look at, there's various months of the year that's dedicated to wellness activities and things like that. And recreation just isn't about physical, it's about mental and social as well. So maybe expand that a little bit. It's just a suggestion.
Deputy Mayor, note that for your committee.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I'll comment
Councillor Hines.
as well. After our recreation committee, I know that one of our local running groups have set up a youth event to coincide with our trunk retreat. So it's a nice kind of physical activity, and you can note, we'll take note of that in the app as well as on the website. But it's an organized kind of walk up to from the Bray up and down Northern Drive up to the Star Hall before the trunk retreat, so it kind of gets them a little bit, and that's with costume entry, so it's a mix of both exercise and activity.
Good, nice. So let's ensure that we have that advertised on the town's media and our media as well. Any other questions? Move on to community and engagement. Communications, Councillor Hines.
Thank you. We had our meeting on October 9th, and at 6 p.m. in attendance was myself as chair, Councillor Kay Smith, Councillor Jamie Fitzpatrick, Rhonda Power, Manager of Tourism, Marketing, Communications, and Catherine Smith to record. Our one recommendation was looked after with finance, and that was for the approve the Everbridge program. We're looking at budget comparisons right now. And the Mayor's March for her stroke took place on the 19th at the town square. There was a good turnout, but we would have liked to have some more, so you can still continue to make a donation through the town. And the Municipal Minute will continue to be produced monthly. They're now available at Tim Hortons and Harold's Hotel and doctor's offices or at the town hall or online. So we'll hopefully get these kind of put through the rest of the community and some more places up in Dunville and Freshwater as well too. So we're just trying it out this month.
I've actually seen even some businesses and it looks good. It's
Yeah,
That's a
people
good
are,
tip, yes.
and we might be able to add to it, expand from.
Yes.
So, we do have some kind of actionable items or ongoing work that we're doing. We're looking at public engagement sessions. We'll be having one after our budget, and we're looking at alternative ideas to kind of get people's information going, whether that's an online one or an interactive type one that we'll do online. We're looking at monitoring system for internet and social media alternative prices for decision making, which will help with the efficiency of how we monitor our social media and stuff. We're looking at reviewing the marketing plan for the town convention strategies and budget. These are ongoing conversations that we'll kind of have with the development of the committee. And we're going to review our stats from Twitter and Facebook and develop a communication strategy. And also to kind of have a pre-budget conversation on that to look at some funds to be able to advertise so people get this information better. Because as you know, with changes with Facebook and the way we communicate, the algorithms don't work out, that people always, even though they signed up to get the post, they don't get the post. So we really want to make sure that our community gets the information we're trying to put out to them, both with their app and with our social media.
Thank you, Councillor Hines. Next, Economic Development Committee, Councillor Fitzpatrick.
So the committee met on October 10th. In attendance was myself, Councillor Collins Power. Councillor Collins was absent due to medical reasons, the acting CAO, and reporter Ms. Smith. So we reviewed the terms of reference, the past terms of reference of a previous council, and we have some recommendations around changes to the wording of the terms of reference. So we recommend that the wording is changed in the terms of reference in the membership section, eliminating the phrase, "one of whom shall be the deputy mayor," to read, "the Economic Development Committee shall comprise of up to 3 councillors."
We want to deal with all those separate motions, Councillor Fitzpatrick. Because a lot of it's in your wording of your
It is.
terms.
It's just words.
Yes.
Committee recommends that the wording be changed in the terms of reference in the membership section from "the chair of the committee may recruit additional members up to the maximum permitted," to read, "the chair of the committee may recruit additional members as needed." Committee recommends eliminating Article D of the mandate section of the terms of reference, which reads, "seek out information on land use planning." Committee recommends that the wording is changed in Article F in the mandate section of the terms of reference to read implementing strategies from the town's marketing strategy and development plan. So moved.
So moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
So we spent a lot of the meeting talking about that. We also had correspondence from Mr. Tom O'Keefe regarding technology sector, which I think others of council may or may not have seen. And talking about the opportunities of the technology sector for the Placentia area. And there was agreement around the committee table that these areas are areas that we should be looking at. And when the new CAO comes on stream, we will be able to solicit and be able to work more with individuals within the municipality around economic development. And we had some preliminary discussions around budget, which we'll be further discussing at the next meeting.
And again, to incorporating the budget in your process with other groups, Councillor Fitzpatrick, like, the other groups, such as the Port of Argentia, the STAR and Freshwater Community Centre, so on, make those.
Most definitely.
Yes,
We
definitely.
had extensive conversation about the number of resources that are available in this town, from the port, the AMA, the chamber, Freshwater Community Centre. You've got even some businesses. You've got funding agencies around from the Department of TCII. You've got COA here. So all of those are definitely on our radar.
Okay, thank you,
And we look forward to working with all of them.
Thank you, good job. Okay, move on to the other questions for the committee.
I got a motion to move that for Grandma Kitchen. I got a motion to move forward. There was only one there.
Okay.
Okay, the deputy mayor has we can actually
I can do it at the end.
we'll do it at the end now. We'll move forward if you have
Yeah,
the
I'll
deputy
do it
mayor.
at the end.
Okay, correspondence. There has been some correspondence. Any other questions? What are business of councillors? Councillor Hines.
I'm excited for I was a little nervous, but excited for the new committee structure. And I think having the Public Works Committee behind me now working towards communication, I think we can kind of be able to narrow down exactly what people are looking for and how to communicate with them about certain things. So I think more experience on the council has certainly helped me, I think, be able to take this role on and bring it somewhere. So thank you for switching around. I don't know how other people feel about their new roles, but it kind of, I think that people will do well in the roles.
And I'm certainly sure as in the community structure I outlined, we all are as council elected with the overall operations of the town. And it gives you a good variety and versatility in order to understand all the operations. Good.
I was also glad to see all the permits in the Public Works. That's great for, some work has already been done, of course, we didn't want to halt anything. But it's good to see that people are sprucing up their places and getting ready for bulk pickup and all that kind of stuff. So it's all good. Action-packed adventure.
Thank you, Councillor Hines. Councillor Collins.
I also find the committee interesting that I've been assigned to. I'm sitting in on it previously, but sometimes I'm not on the ball like the last year was, but I'm sure I'll be trained pretty well. Anyway, also I want to remind people that Halloween is coming up and the safety aspect of Halloween for the kids. I know as probably in the past, the fire department's going to be out around and that, but I'm just asking people to be, have a watchful eye out for little kids around, because I'm so excited going around and getting their treats, and that sometimes they just don't watch out where they're going. So, and I know there's busier sections in town. I know Dunville, Villa Marie, and I still call it the Urkel housing. Always call it that. That's a busy area. The cottages are fairly busy. Lions Manor is fairly busy. So just to let you know that that it's approaching us pretty quick. So just want to make sure that everybody's safe on that night, and make sure that your kids, if you can pick up some type of reflector or something, just to put it on so that cars coming around can, see kids. That's about it.
Thank you, Councillor Downs. Councillor Fitzpatrick.
I want to say that the wayfinding signs around are looking very good. That's nice to see. Last month, you talked about, you gave congratulatory to Brooke Lennon on her being named to Team Canada. Well, this weekend past, she was in Nova Scotia with Team Newfoundland and Labrador. And yesterday morning, they won the silver medal in the Atlantic Cup Challenge, which is a huge accomplishment, let alone for Brooke, but for Team NL, because they were very competitive. And I was talking to a couple of the parents, and the parents said that their championship game was actually the night before when they played Nova Scotia, not the actual championship game. So I did want to extend a congratulations to everyone.
Certainly sure we show again. Please.
Yeah.
Good.
And the other thing that I want to say is that, you know, the evenings are getting darker sooner in the evenings. So be on the lookout of children, because they're still on the summer mode. I know my children are, my 10-year-old is, and he can't understand why 7:30 at night he has to come in out of it, and it's pitch black out. So be cautious of that, and just everyone stay safe during Halloween.
Thank you, Councillor Fitzpatrick. Deputy Mayor.
I guess first of all, deciding to start a new committee. But I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the chair or the supervisor and the resource person from our Public Works Committee for all the hard work and effort he's put in to help make the committee a success the last couple of years. And even though I'm sitting on the committee again, it's good to have a change and some new ideas and bring some new things forward. So I'd like to thank the Public Works Committee and the workers, of course, for making the last couple of years of certainly, I think we've come a ways, and we still got a couple of ways to go, but I certainly think it's after come a ways. And I do look forward to continuing on the good work of the Recreation Committee that's actually been done the last couple of years, trying to build on that and make that better, but I got big shoes to it. The last thing is that I just got a motion that council accept Grandma's Kitchen proposal to run the canteen at the arena for the upcoming season.
Moved by Deputy Mayor to accept Grandma's Kitchen as the operator of the canteen at the arena. Moved by Deputy Second. Seconder, Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Smith.
I'd just like to wish the kids also a safe Halloween and drivers beware. And I'm also happy to be in the role of the community engagement and communications committee.
Thank you.
We have to shorten the name, though, it's all.
CCC, abbreviations. Okay, the only other thing there was Fire Prevention Week was just a while ago, and it was a great success. I actually visited the fire department, and it's good to see the turnout, you know, people there, the fire department, the fire chief are to be acknowledged, you know, certainly Fire Prevention Week here, they step up and they go and they visit the schools and they visit, you know, have their open house at the fire department and so on and so forth. And, you know, kudos to the fire chief and the fire department for another successful Fire Prevention Week. Okay, having that, there's promotion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Patrick, seconded by Councillor Hines. Meeting adjourned.